Good to see you all. Very excited to do this. I've been very pumped about this since last episode, or since like Gabe's solo episode. Less pumped the last group episode.
I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
a
It made things
bittersweet
really
moment.
interesting.
It's sad to see Cookie go, but there's an excitement in someone new showing up and all that allows for the development. You know,
I mean, it
pros and cons.
is incredibly true. Yes, 100%. Like, you know, there definitely was development happening with Cookie, but that's more than fine. Now we just have new development. You know?
Except for the mother cradle. The mother cradle doesn't have new development.
No,
Nope.
she's shit out of luck. So that's, you know, that I guess.
She's
But
SOP, stuck on planet.
all right. So, I mean, fuck. All that we really have to say is that last time you guys did the heist tower
Yeah, we got the Pharaoh's Eye in exchange for Cookie.
in exchange for Cookie.
Unfortunately.
Indeed. Cookie died. And
It's that one Infinity Stone.
uh
For a life.
yeah,
cost.
it's sad loss all around. I think that's like really just basically the full last time on though, is that like you guys did the heist tower and Cookie died. And then you left planet
With
Yeah.
the Pharaoh's Eye.
with the Pharaoh's Eye. That is a thing.
And Cookie's corpse.
The Pharaoh's Eye
Did
and
you
the
retrieve
Cookie
my
corpse.
body?
Yes. I want to say, while I haven't listened to it, that the hotel put your body in a casket and had it brought to the ship.
There's something in that coffin.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they have your body.
Do we do Futurama rules? Do we just launch the casket out into space?
Yes, please, Fancy.
I guess you can.
By request.
I
You
had
want
an
to?
idea that there would be some sort of funeral or something for Cookie, but if you guys
That's a funeral
truly
of sorts.
Yeah, no, right. If you guys that's where we're gonna start once I have this
Well, let's
last
go through
screen
Cookie's
fixed.
things and figure out if they had a last will and testament or not.
I don't think. I mean,
They don't.
they don't. Yeah, I was gonna
Cookie
say
was never going to die.
exactly. Cookies would have never thought about having been killable.
Then, of course, we will have to go to the default of the universe, which is, of course, launching you into space.
Fuck yeah.
Eventually,
you'd be like
probably
that.
launching you into a sun. You know, go until you hit gravity strong enough. And
You'll land somewhere.
Then I think that is where we're going to have to start with it. As you folks leave Opulence, you have a week to go back. It's going to be a pretty quick time narratively. Dismiss this application. Great. But do you folks jettison Cookie out the airlock?
How does Lucy feel about that?
I was just kidding.
Hey, does anybody know?
I like
does
Futurama
anybody-
rules.
Does anybody know what planet Cookie was from? Like, does Cookie have family or anything like that? I know that we flashed
He
back
has
to
a
it once or
child.
twice, but that's all I can remember.
We can ask the chat.
No,
Like, you know,
no and yes, respectively.
From my
Our,
understanding, Cookie has a hive mind. And I don't know if they'd be upset to see her go or not.
Cookie has a hive mind or is a hive mind?
Is a hive mind?
both.
Yes.
Neither?
Neither.
This is a fun game. I'm glad we started the podcast like this.
I will.
Does
What's going on?
Cookie's species cannibalize? Because knowing Cookie's principles, feeding her
That's an
body to the
excellent question.
Chuchling is probably top of her list of ways to go. From what Carl has read, not to speak for Cookie.
Yeah, that's good questions
that.
all around for sure. Great questions all around. None that I'll
Lunch
answer for now for that, because you guys just wouldn't have the details for that. But some that may be answered down the line.
Well, I think there's a guy who I haven't met yet that might be able to tell us.
Sure. Yeah, so we just bring in.
I guess we
It
should
was
just
a joke,
wait,
but it
right?
is a fun thing to add canonically. Is that if
It's
this is the
foreshadowing.
case, and this is like what the crew does with Cookie's body, then there's a different exchange of things. So
I think we should take the body back to the ship for now, and then figure out what to do with it. Like, surely somebody knows where Cookie is from. Like, there are records on the ship and stuff like that, right?
I think that you would
Somebody's
be
been in the library.
you would be well aware enough to know that, like, yes, you could. There's always the case of taking them back home if that is an available course. But the station also does funerals as well for, like, like soldiers
and
KIA.
at the end of those, they launch them into space.
It only makes fucking sense now that we're talking about it. But I'll come up with well, maybe we'll see. Like, where do you store all those bodies?
Space.
Yeah, the vastness of space. There's just a shitload of corpses out there.
This is just the future's graveyard.
Oh man, it's gonna be so blocked up eventually. Okay,
Probably
so
not. Suns burn bodies really easy.
the trip back to the Delta station is pretty dour. Lucy is in and out of pretty much weeping the whole time, I would say. She is.
Lucy, what do you think we should do with the body?
I don't know if she has a response to that. I don't know if she has a response. I don't know that this is hard, I think, for her to process having lost Cookie, because I thought about it and I think that, like, it makes sense that she's friends with Slippy, but I think that she connected in a way with Cookie that she didn't with anyone else. In the cooking and
The spying.
yeah, I don't know. I think she had a connection with Cookie that she has had difficulty processing, especially during this week, while you folks return to the station. So it's just pretty dour around the ship as you folks go. As you pull back to the station, do you radio ahead, or do you return home like normal?
Oh yeah, no, I've got my frequency straight to the captain. Not the main captain, but the lower captain.
Yeah,
What's the name of
Captain
that guy?
Rake.
Captain Rake, that's right. So I
really
radioed
wanted-
Captain Rake.
I really wanted to make a trucker speak joke, but I don't know enough about trucker speak to even like impersonate it.
Yep.
10-4,
Same.
good buddy.
10-4, good buddy.
That's sure
This is
100% of what I know.
Honk
Cap-
honk. Am I
Captain-
right?
Am I right? Captain Rake picks up the end of the communication.
Slippy, you're back.
Hi, Captain Rake. Would you like the good news or the bad news first?
Oh, I'll take the good news.
All right. So, our mission with Mr. Blood and his fabulously wealthy, conniving, mischievous guest, we protected them very well, and we got that mission was very well accomplished, and he enjoyed our services here at the Delta Dawn.
Oh, so a total success. That's fantastic. I think coming back on a success on this one is going to be real good for the station as a whole.
Yep, there were no problems with that part of our
Total-
excursion.
That's
Total success.
total success. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. So what? No bad news then. Is that the bad
Nope.
news? Is that
I told you, are you ready for the bad news?
yeah, you guys succeeded. It can't be all that bad.
Well, you know how we left the station with 4 of
This
us?
is the way you're telling him. Okay.
Yeah. You,
Slippy's very awkward right now, so he can't handle this
You-
situation.
BBW, Carl, Cookie,
What? Well,
Princess Grubbins. Sorry.
I'm realizing now, we're still returning with 4 people.
Perfect.
We actually left with 5 people, and
Who was the 5th?
we had a stowaway, a young child named Lucy from the station.
Oh, Lucy Boyd.
but-
She's back.
We brought her back, and she's safe and sound. But that's again not the bad news. Unfortunately,
The bat.
Cookie gave her life in the line of duty to make sure that the mission was a full success. It was very heroic.
Oh.
And yep, over.
Over. I.
And I interpreted it. I don't think that Cookie gave her life willingly.
She.
Ribbit.
That is the bad news, huh?
It's the pits, honestly.
Well,
Ribbit.
I think. That's a heavy load to lay over the phone. I think. You're bringing you brought her back. With you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Four people and one cookie.
We can. Oh, we can have a service for her here. Do a Delta burial. Yeah.
Well, we of course Futurama rules, but we were actually going to try and find out what the tradition is for Cookie's species. We were going to see if there were any records about where Cookie's from. Over.
Oh, yeah, I can have some files pulled on that information for you guys when you come
Great.
back for a debriefing.
We'll send our research octopus.
That's perfect. You'll all be there for the debriefing. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just don't want to do any reading.
That makes sense. It's a tough time. Would you? Oh, I had this fun joke of would you like the good news or the bad news too after all this, but I don't.
Oh yeah, let's do bad news first.
You want the bad news?
What about the Band-Aid?
You guys met Jeremy Pevins, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's
love him like the sun. I mean,
something happened with Mr. Pevins, and he went on a total rampage. He harmed several people and is hiding somewhere on the station.
That's not good.
It certainly is not good, but
So glad there's still good news coming up.
something's whack with him. As for the good news, I think that you folks will be. I think the one that would have enjoyed this the most is Cookie, but maybe in spirit she'll like this one. I think I'll leave it to as you folks return. We'll have people meet you guys down in the bay, and get Cookie collected, I guess, and prepared for.
So what would you have done if I said good news first? Would you have not told us the bad news until we got to the station?
Over.
Okay, goodbye.
And as you folks do the end of this conversation, you're close enough, because being close enough to be able to voice comm is close enough narratively where at the end of the call, you can see in the distance a bright object beyond this asteroid belt that cuts around the planet. The object is much brighter than you folks remember it being upon any time that you've seen it in the past. The Delta station is lit top to bottom, full power lights going. Just
oh wow, did something happen with the 43% of the power that the station can't use?
You folks pull around in the ship and into the docking bay, and there are several groups of people waiting to accept your ship in. Basically, there's technicians here to work on anything that your ship needs. There's people here to help collect Cookie's coffin, I guess. I just get so uncomfortable with death. Collect Cookie's coffin, and as your ship pulls in, we will cut over to roughly at the same time as they're calling Captain Rake. Hyatt, where we left off, you are asleep. Not where we left off, but where we are now. You are asleep in your quarters. And we're actually picking up back in this dream that we started on your solo episode. You are just returning home from this school trip. Young Hyatt Cola, you're at the gates. You can see the front door is ajar. The house is silent in a way that you haven't really seen it. And as you approach the front doorstep, your sister on the stoop, you've listened to it just now. Why don't you pick up right here and then continue us on?
All right. So we were rejoining the dream. We see we're right at the front door, and we see Hyatt's sister come out of the door, and she looks strange and different and wrong. If it weren't for the sort of the reverse sideburns or I guess inverted sideburns growing this way, growing back, protruding from her cheeks, I would just say that she looked sick, I guess, sort of under the weather, little weak in the body, but she has this beard of white growths, sort of like very small stalactites. How those are sort of really thin and pale. There is a brief interaction, sort of the what's wrong, the are you okay, the general expression of sibling concern.
What's wrong
And
with
then
your
it,
face?
yeah, what's up with your face? Wait, how it be like that? But then it turns into sort of a zombie movie pretty quickly. There is a struggle, there is an attack. I think he like throws his sister into a hedge and runs inside, and I think runs up the center staircase to his parents' offices.
Of course, he knows they're in the offices during the day.
They're definitely in the offices during the day. I feel like we did say, or maybe talked about what it was that they do, but I know that they had offices, and that's where to look for them.
They do
And so
paperwork.
that's where often it's often paperwork. But he runs in there, and it looks like a tornado has hit this office, and I think he sees the body of his father with some sort of a big needle sticking out of it, but also this same growth of threads of beard, and like, are we trying to end the dream now, or is this another?
Oh
like,
no,
are we
this
doing
is
more
this is a
episodically?
great moment. I'll do a thing. I just wanted a little bit more.
I was just like, how far down the rabbit hole do we want to go with this?
Find end us in a good moment of horror that would be another good like shock point for memory stoppage, you know.
I think the thing, it's the discovery and then hearing a noise down the hall. It's like a clatter of some sort.
Or clunk.
Yeah, and it's pretty rare for you, for Cola, for your dreams to go much beyond the first interaction point. I would say a few times when stress is at its sort of highest in your life, has your dreams gone even to this moment. And this might be really as far as like memory has allowed you to remember. Like the shock of this whole incident is sure to set in, and having this happen to your family, it's easy to put that aside as you go into this next stage in your life. Well, I don't know if easy is the word, but is a thing that people do sometimes. So I don't know that you remember much beyond this, but your dream kind of, it's almost like you're seeing kind of all these different cutscenes of this time. And there's another moment that crops up into your dream that I don't know if you've ever dreamed before, and it is a few hours later, as you are being wrapped in a blanket by an ISC officer. Behind them, several more. You're maybe in the corner of your parents' office, sort of in a ball, as this ISC agent wraps you in a a blanket. And like I said, beyond them, you see a few more investigating the room in various ways, checking the walls. There's, like you said, it looks like a tornado went through here, not just due to the things, but due to there's fluids, there's a body part or two that don't really connect to your they're not your parents, they're not your sisters, they're not anything like that. And you actually see them as you're just sort of rocking there in shock. You're staring loosely into space, and you see them containing something from the back that they've removed from the back of your father's head, and in a container. And then you wake up in a sweat. And
That's horrible.
you wake up in a sweat to your communicator going off, and it's Captain Rake, and
It says, Cola. You wanted to be informed when the crew with Cookie Grubbins on it was returning, and they're
Indeed.
pretty close by now. I don't know that you'll find what you're looking for here on that ship. It seems that Agent Cookie Grubbins has passed in the line of duty.
She's dead.
That's the report from her crew. When the ship lands, I'm sure that we'll have more details. But that's been the report passed through to me directly from them. That's what they said. Yes.
No, she's still alive, guys.
no, yeah, that just that was telephone gone wrong.
Pranked.
The hidden camera's over there.
Oh my god.
I speak to her old character about her new character about her old character's death. Process this new character.
Thank you for informing me.
They should be returning to the station within the hour.
I will still monitor the debrief, but I am specifically curious what was the manner and date of Cookie's passing.
No, not sure quite yet, but during the debriefing, I'm sure that all that information will be given. And
Thank you.
I didn't tell him that you were here, like you asked.
I'm glad that you understood your instructions. Your loyalty will be remembered.
Absolutely. Over and out then.
Where are you when they land?
Over, I guess.
What are you up to when their ship lands?
That's tricky because part of me wants to see them land and see that scene. But I think, especially since Cookie's dead, I have sort of larger pots boiling at this moment. I'm gonna send my agent in training, Cluster Jorgen. He's gonna go and sort of hang out nearby and see. I made him point on this investigation last episode, so that's going to be, I think, how I handle that. And I'm
so like basically as if you're there. He'll relay everything that happened. Okay.
I can't use any of my moves on anyone who is there, and I can't it's all secondhand.
But he'll tell you all the stuff at a secondhand.
Yeah,
level.
at least some sort of a narrative of
narrative.
What the vibe
telephone
was.
Game.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's
we
there.
Get to
what
roll
are you
to
doing?
See how good he.
Yeah, I'm gonna start rolling for all of our favorite NPCs.
I will say, just he has a few stats here, and his aptitude on a scale of 1 to 5 is a 1.
Perfect.
I'm going to disappoint you. I'm going to let you down.
Disappoint you. Oh hell yeah. Perfect.
I'm glad we have that character too. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
He's got maximum loyalty, minimum aptitude.
Good.
He loves you, but sucks at his job.
He's really good at one thing, and it's not the thing on the.
It's loving
sheet.
you.
Yeah, so he's doing that. Yes, what is Cola doing during this time or heading to do? We can continue to interspace these until our paths meet.
I want confirmation. I want to hear from I'm going to hang out in the command deck, and I want to see if Captain Marjorie is present for the landing. And if I get a report that she's present, I want to break into her office.
Okay. I mean, as you go to the command center, there's various employees working at, their varied stations, monitoring the whole life of the station. And Marjorie is at her desk, and she remains at her desk as you see on these monitors, there begin to be alerts of a ship incoming, and then the credentials pass of the ship, and label the crew up on a monitor. Each of their little images pops up with their little like crew card on the thing. All of them are green right now, but you see a few of the technicians exchange some words, and then Cookies blinks out and blinks back in red, and the Marjorie actually stands up and comes to her door at that moment when she sees that, and you see a really heavy sigh go over her body, and she returns to her desk and returns to the paperwork at her desk. Hey everyone, your Game Master M here with a few show notes, and then I'll let you get back to it. We have officially entered into the last arc of this campaign, the Delta Dawn. We have finished up the rest of our recordings for it, and I cannot say how pleased I am with the outcome and how proud of us I am for being able to tell a story of this magnitude successfully. It's like a dream come true, and we want to thank each and every one of you for listening in and being a part of this with us. The end of this campaign, however, does not mean that we're stopping here. No. We've got a few different irons in the fire, so stay tuned for the ride. As we said in the beginning, we've got a lot of TTRPGs to explore. Following the end of this campaign, we plan on doing some shorter, goofier palate cleansers before jumping back into our next long-form story, this time using the Dungeons & Dragons system, a system we've used for many years now. And don't you worry, the story of the Delta Station will not end here. This is just the beginning. With all that in mind, we will be skipping a release date. 60% of our group is going through a move during this month, so all hands are tied up in that currently. The next episode will be releasing on August 10th. We appreciate your patience while we get settled into our respective new homes. Lastly, if you enjoy this podcast and wish to support it in any way, you can donate to the show through the link in the description. Every penny goes towards making this podcast continue to happen and improving the quality for future seasons. All right, that's it for me, folks. Appreciate you listening, and enjoy the rest of the episode. The 3 of you, 5 of you, land back on the station. Like I said, there are technician crews here to check up on the ship. There are various work folk here to help like unload any necessary things, as there usually are when you folks return. And I think that Rake himself is here to greet you folks. And as your ramp lowers, the work starts that needs to start. But Rake says to you folks as you come down the ramp, I think we should take care of this debriefing. Maybe right off the bat. I know you folks are tired, but it sounds like a lot happened, and maybe we should just take care of this debriefing, and then you folks can get some rest.
He and I predator high five, and then we flex, and then we nod, and we are ready to go.
Lovely.
We became very close in the non-canon universe.
Yeah, you folks just follow Rake to the command center where Rake's desk is. Cola, they're coming to the command center to do debriefing. What do you do? What are you up to? You want to take up like a role at one of these stations and pretend to be on computer? Or do you want to leave the room? How do you want to, like, you said you wanted to listen in, basically. I was just trying to come up with a way for you to listen in on this conversation.
My notion was that I would sit at Rake's desk and just sort of monitor the feed.
Oh, yeah, they're coming to
they're
do
coming to
debriefing.
Rake's desk.
To do
Okay.
debriefing, yeah.
That's where we always debrief.
Is there a
Okay,
two-way
is
mirror you
there-
can get on the other side of?
Yeah,
I had a
was sort
two-way
of
mirror
imagining a
installed.
debriefing room, but I guess they would just do it at.
That's where they
at
have
his
done it
cubicle.
historically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, I'm gonna. Assuming there's an empty cubicle nearby, I'm just gonna sit on down in one.
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Rake,
There's
one of
a
your guys is
few-
just pretending to work.
There's a few unmanned stations with various screens that seem to be flipping through on I don't know, just sort of on a loop. There's like maybe 10 different security feeds it's checking before it loops. And so, keyboard and various station equipment there. But yeah, you sit down there and blend in.
I wanna ask one other question, and I forgot to ask this before.
Yes.
One of my character moves is called Inquisitive Eyes, which basically, when the question is, does it trigger when I see someone or when I like interact with them?
When you interact with it, when you meet someone for the first time.
Okay, cool. All right, then.
Because they
I
have to
have
be
this,
able to ask
but,
you one of the
we'll-
questions back, right?
Yeah, it's some of the best like narrative questions that I get to ask the people that I meet, and then they get to ask me one of them as well.
Ooh.
And they have to tell the truth, and I don't. But if I don't, other things happen.
He's all about trying to figure out a situation or people, or trying to figure out people is what it feels like. A lot
I'm
of
glad
your kit
we've
is
been able to
about.
port Zone of Truth.
A little bit.
Really high insight.
Yeah, perfect. You folks enter into the command center and go to Rake's desk. He looks it over and sits down and pulls out the file for opulence. He's like shaking his head and he's like, "So let's start with the mission. I feel like let's get this out of the way. What you said it was a success. Let's hit me with that mission log."
Combat officer hit him with it.
Well, the mission was a success. Mr. Blood enjoyed his time there and left alive. The mission, unfortunately, was not for us all to stay alive.
No, that's true. That's true. So Blood got off the planet. You folks got paid. So mission
No, we
success.
haven't got paid yet.
We haven't got. That was the whole thing. You're telling me he didn't pay you? Mr. Blood always pays. Oh no. Okay, well, the mission success out of the way. We can log that away in the books. Sounds, I mean, like a total success on that. The whole point, he got off alive. You folks attended the event, correct? Like that was a big part of it.
Yes, we attended the event with my conniving, scheming, duplicitous ex on again, off again. I forgot what she was. On again, off again, ex-girlfriend Carissa.
Why was Carissa there? You've talked about Carissa quite a lot, Slippy.
She was Mr. Blood's guest. It was the classic get with the old guy to get his money because you assassinate him and then you get his money. That whole shtick. She's done it many times before.
That's a wild net to be caught up in, I gotta say.
Is that how you got with her in the first place?
Yes.
That's how you
Was
got
she
with
trying
her?
to take your money?
No, sorry, I'm lying. I just wanted to feel like I had money for a moment. I just wanted to pretend that I had money for a moment. No, we went to college together.
Ah,
college money.
Wally, why don't you talk to me a little bit about what Lucy's doing with you folks?
Who's Wally?
He's not calling you BBW. That's what the W stands for.
That's his proper name. I understand.
Wallace.
I forgot that about him.
Wallace. Goodness.
Wallace.
Agent Wallace. What happened with the? Why is Lucy with you?
Where the fuck is Gromit?
Why is Lucy with us? BBW is like, you're gonna hear the gears kind of like literally turning in his head as he scrambles for this information. And then she helped bake us a cake at one point.
So
That was one of the biggest involvements before Cookie's untimely passing.
Honestly, basically a shoo-in if we needed an apprentice chef.
Oh,
This is also
so she was.
Cookie did teach her some stuff.
She helped out on the mission, and Lucy is like nodding and is like sniveling.
Children are incredibly useful workers. Did you not know this? Resilient, lots of energy.
There's lots of codes about the no-nos behind that, but
look, I'm on a different. I'm from
Those
kind of
apply
nice
in
place of
space?
planet. We
Not on
we
our
don't really we don't do that there.
Yeah, one of my professors was a child.
Well, I'm glad that you guys were able to keep her safe. Why did you bring her with you on the mission?
We didn't bring her.
Bring is a strong word for a stowaway.
She brought her own damn self.
Yeah, I wanted to go on a big adventure. Well, your parents were awfully worried about you, and then his sort of demeanor drops, and he says, Merrick, come over here. And one of the technicians comes across the bay, and he says, now, Lucy, your dad was hurt pretty bad in the line of duty, and I'm gonna have Merrick here take you to his. This whole week sucks for her.
Oh no!
I'm gonna have Merrick take you to his bed. He's been waking up the past couple days, so he'll be happy to know that you've come back. I'm sure that it'll really help him. And Lucy's immediately like with Merrick and taken to the thing. She says, I'll see you later, Slippy. I'll see you later, BBW and Carl. And she runs with Merrick kid. Out of there. And
that kid's gonna be scarred for life.
Out of the situation. Yay. Yeah, scarred for life for sure.
But at least it's not our problem.
Isn't she already?
Awful. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Wow, this has been an eventful mission for you folks.
Yeah, when are you gonna tell us the good news?
Cookie. Well, what? No, the good news is that the station's lit up. What are you talking about? The station has full power.
You haven't told us about that yet.
Oh, but the good news is that the station has full power. Cookie's research with Weathers worked out incredibly so. Weathers finally had the final batch come through, and they're able to power the station entirely. The all of the living quarters are usable again. We can start filling them out and have a real full station here. The markets can return to being markets.
We could use the lower 53% of the station now.
Why is that number different every time you say it?
Because I don't remember it.
It's just 40. But I liked it.
Lower 40.
Yes, absolutely. That is.
I thought there was something living down there. That's good.
So, along with my bad news, that is about where Pevins has last been spotted. So,
before there is something living down there now.
Indeed. So you thought correct.
Can we just turn off the power to that part of the ship and let him?
Yeah, let's
not breathe to death. Suffocate. That's the word. We don't do that on my planet either. So
we don't do that on my planet. Immune to suffocation.
We are just floating blobs of energy.
What are you gonna do? Drown me?
Yeah, lots to do here on the station. But what about Cookie? You had asked for these files, and there's a few files that get passed over.
Yeah, we were hoping that somebody wrote in these files where Cookie was from. You know, that somebody at some point knew where Cookie was from.
So the file that you have is.
Do you think there's anybody that knows where Cookie's from?
The file that you have It feels like you're trying to pull from Gabe,
Slippy's
but
like looking around in the office.
but
I don't know where Cookie's from.
yeah, the file you're handed is actually a printed out file. Like this seems like a fresh printout, not like something he pulled from the data archives. This seems like fresh file work. In fact, at the top of each page, you see a classified stamp. This
I just want to
is
say that the phrase data archive kind of implies that that's a digital medium, which you would still have to print out to get a physical copy of. So even if he did pull it from the data
no, they're
archives,
printed out on
he would still
special
technically
paper.
have to.
They're printed out on special paper from the data
Data
archives.
pads.
Yeah, exactly. It's so
Data
obvious
slates.
when something is from the data archive.
Oh, is that a data
It's
slate?
got a watermark.
Yeah, it's like a very transparent image over.
Hold
the
on,
whole
let me hold it. I paid the $3.99 a month to get data slate premium.
Yeah, but each of these pages is with a classified stamp from files of the invasive species committee. He says these used to be classified, no longer. But they sort of detail a lot about Cookie's the race, the goings on of her race. It was the investigation that we undertook to ultimately decide, I guess, that her species is in fact an invasive species.
What?
But
Dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Yeah.
We didn't know that, right, guys? We didn't know that at all.
Well, now
brand
give
new.
me a defy danger.
That's brand new information to us.
No, you don't have to give me a
Yeah,
defy danger.
I'd like to use magic.
That's boxcars, baby. You have to believe me now.
You can roll to use your magic too if you want to know if you have to believe him. Gabe has a thing that he can use.
I'll explain it here in a moment. What is the use magic stat? Is that intelligence?
It's on your oh wait, BBW, what's your use robots? Because his is based off the same stat.
I use robots. Is it like operate machines?
Yeah, operate machines.
That's my intelligence.
Intelligence?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. I have 3 like the way that Cookie had things that she could do with food. Hyatt Cola has like cyberpunk implants that sort of function like BBW's robotics attachments, and he's got an inner ear thing that's a lie detector. So he's going to roll to use that,
And that's literally
that
all
is,
it does. It tells if one statement is truth or a lie.
Mm-hmm. And I got a 12.
So
Damn, double boxcars.
Then you know that that's a lie, Hyatt Cola. But you know that.
What are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do about it? Spin around in his chair. That's a lie.
What? Prove it.
He does spin around in his chair.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, he's just like he likes to see an investigation make progress.
Oh, he just wants to watch, not like drawing attention.
He likes to watch.
No, I mean if this draws attention to him, that's fine. But he did just do a little spin in his chair before he went back to listening.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, you did like a 360?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
hold on.
That's different.
Hold on.
Amazing.
Now I feel like I need to contest that. I've never had to roll against Gabe so much, except whenever you're DMing, obviously.
Boxcars.
I'm gonna.
I don't think that there's like real questions to ask on this discern reality, so I would just call it a defy danger wisdom as our perception.
I guess it's too late for me to say I did that stealthily and roll.
Yeah, because you said you didn't care if attention was drawn.
I got a 7.
I suppose I did say that.
We got a 7.
Then with the danger being drawn to yourself. What'd you say about boxcars, Carl? Were you just saying I hope boxcars, or did you say you rolled boxcars?
Oh no, I just said it's Battle of the Boxcars.
Oh, battle.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
cool.
Gabe and I rolled.
I just
12
wanted to make sure I
back to
didn't,
back.
just in case. I'll say in that moment, Slippy, you make eye contact with Hyatt Cola. Hyatt, you make eye contact with Slippy. You guys exchange a glance as Hyatt spins and he returns to his desk. And
That was weird.
Rake, fuck, I don't even remember where we were in the conversation. You said you didn't know. Oh, about a species, invasive species cookies.
Yeah,
race.
we didn't know Cookie was an invasive species.
Yeah, so the file
eye contact.
details quite a bit about the workings of Cookie's race, but the thing I think you're looking for in the piece of information that I'll give for free on this is that Cookie's race, I mean, when they die, they're left for the most part in the dust where they die because they're workers. But when the queens die, her higher ups, like her closest few, eat her corpse.
Oh, so we should eat her corpse.
You can.
Find the Chuchling.
Please eat her corpse.
Hey,
So she
Lucy,
would have
you're
wanted.
the only one that knows about cooking.
Guys, let's make a fancy meal. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I'm thinking
What
of the
she would've
necromancer that I
wanted.
used
When
to be.
I thought of that bit, I didn't actually think that you guys would eat her, but if that's where this goes.
I don't know about that.
No.
I think we should make their birthday cake.
Slippy, I don't think that's a good idea because what if there's eggs somewhere in that meat? Even one egg. You've seen what that shit does. I
Oh,
don't
I'm
want
a
that
frog.
meat.
It'll be fine.
You will be half of a frog.
I
And then
eat eggs
half
all
of a
the
frog
time.
over there.
Hey, so
Really
I read
was a
that
frog.
over, and I really don't think you guys should eat her. I
Oh, I wasn't
I
going
don't
to
have
eat her.
teeth.
okay.
Why would you suggest that, Mr.
Perfect.
Rake? You freak.
Well,
It's pretty
the,
dark, actually.
the things you guys were saying was leading me to okay.
That was a private conversation.
Look, we have established banter because we're a crew, and we don't have that relationship with you.
You're
Captain
not
Rake,
on
and
the
it just-
crew.
you're just kind of.
We'll never accept
it-
anybody who's not on the crew.
Keep it professional, sir.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I guess I'll leave it up to you folks. You guys were the closest to her on the station.
No,
we can
I mean, to be completely honest with you, I don't think we should feed her to anything. So I think we should just default to classic Futurama rules.
yeah, we like to
I remember that show.
we fertilize all corpses at all funerals to provide for a better crop in the end anyway.
Crop. So you're gonna eat her?
Well, we're gonna eat the food provided by Cookie. Will provide
my-
to our station one last time
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Unless you're an
Dust
octopus,
to-
because
because we
dust
don't
to
die.
cabbage. We're immortal.
We're immortal.
no, that's lobsters. Those fuckers are
That's
flip around.
true, man. That would be a fun alien race to play, where you are immortal, but every now
You
and then you're
just
gonna shed and get
grow.
bigger.
I'll never die. That's part of my canon now.
You're just gonna be a really fucking big frog.
Oh, and it hurts. That's part of
Yeah,
it
I
and-
love the idea of a space lobster the size of a whale.
too.
I don't know. I feel like the other way around adds an interesting, like, ticking clock to your eternity. Like, if every time you had to shed your skin, you get a little bit smaller. So, like, gradually you're shrinking, but eventually, like, you're gonna be, like, microscopic. So, like, nobody will even know you exist.
And
This
you
is
can
my
really
wife,
fuck
the
stuff up.
single-celled amoeba. We call her amoeba.
So there's not really two scenes to jump back and forth between here. Rake says that they are. Let's see. He says we'll get the preparations for the funerals in place. The success on this mission is huge for our station. This is going to bring lots of notoriety to the Delta stations as stations that can also provide work for the territories at a large.
And rich people.
Sure, and I guess the wealthy, but we'll keep that on the DL that this one was about protecting a wealthy guy somehow.
He
We'll
was
figure that
really
out.
rich.
He sure was. But we'll get the funeral together. You folks get in rest up from your mission. I know it was a long one. I know you might have to level up a few times. So
I'm gonna have to take at
definitely-
least like 3 or 4 naps.
definitely take care of that. And, welcome home. When we have some missions together for you folks, of course, after you have enough time to rest, we will get those underway. But take your time. Seriously, this is a hard one. We're not going to force you guys back out there too quick. But we'll give you details about Cookie's funeral, of course, right when it when that time comes.
Thanks, Captain Rake. I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
Cookie was important to all of us here on the Delta Station, and every single person knew her name. And now she
Even
can't be
if she
here
was an
to
invasive species.
say that. Sounds like she invaded our hearts.
Smash cut.
So yeah, you folks leave the command center, and we're gonna prepare to level up. I want to see as they leave Hyatt Cola, what's up with you?
Yeah, once they leave the floor, I'm gonna approach Rake at his desk.
Now's really not the time.
I understand your disappointment with the way the situation turned out.
What?
So I will make myself brief. Why was I not presented with this folder upon my initial discussion with you?
This one, you have access to this, all this information on. It's accessible information. I pulled it up when they asked me to pull up research information.
You didn't ask for it.
This was something I searched when they asked me what her culture does. I didn't know before that moment. I just read it over since they asked me to print it up.
Convincing.
Such an oversight.
In game, it's
That
because
is my
I
job.
didn't
I'm sorry.
I wanted a way to come up with a presentable way for this information, and I thought that made sense to me. Didn't have that
it just
idea
feels like
last
something that he
time.
would have known beforehand, and may have affected his choices. Anywho,
I think
if
that
that's
I think that there are invasive species that live in and about society, even that you're aware of, but they're just watched so heavily. They live a watched life entirely. So this is not like out of the ordinary that there is an invasive species joining this
Okay.
group and being a part of
Okay.
it, but she should have been watched harder than she was. I
Which was
guess
not
would
at
be
all.
would be your kind of thing. She should have. This should have been a bigger deal for Cookie to have to traverse.
yeah, okay. She was almost watched one time, but okay.
Immediately kill them.
In that case, the only other thing I wanted to do, during the previous episode, I went and asked Rick some questions in his apartment.
Yes.
And he showed me his crazy yarn board.
Central.
Yes. What was? Can you remind me a bit
It
about
was like
the yarn
all
board?
of the. It was like the passages in that like run
all
through
the details
ship
about
that,
below the
like,
station.
yeah, and like the knobbly creatures and whatever. I
Yeah.
don't.
What do you want to check out about this?
I would like to know if I remember, like, if the map was detailed enough for me to be able to try and find one of like the entrance to one of these places, because I remember you saying that there was an entrance in the command hub, and so I figured, well, I'm here. We'll push this narrative forward a little bit.
All right.
Any way I'd be able to find that?
Give me a spout lore. I'll give you +1 because this is a piece of information you have put your eyes on before.
Nice. I needed that. It's gonna be an 8.
An 8. Then what I'll give you with this one is that you know that there are some here in the command center, but there's too many people around, and what it looks like is it's actually there's been like a server, maybe just like one of these desks has been built over where this like ventilation shaft would be, and you can see that they've moved it up since that blueprint. The ventilation shaft is just like above the computer station, and you would draw so much attention in the command center getting up there and getting in this ventilation shaft.
Excuse me, I know you're trying to log in, but
right, like it would be intrusive in a way that would draw attention. But you do know of another one. It's not like, you know, it's like a few, I don't know, offices away. Command center's up here, the Tech and Science Bay. You know that new place where the Tech and Science Bay cross. It's a big room, so there can be and you actually, it is not any longer core actually sectioned off for like investigation, because it's just gone back to the duty it needed to happen after Pevins went crazy there. That's where Pevins went crazy for everyone here. He was in the Tech and Science Bay. You know, there's an entrance there, and based on the blueprints, it should actually be accessible for you. So you just have to head down there to get there.
Yep.
And as Kola heads down to the Tech and Science Bay to look for this ventilation shaft, let's go one by one about these level ups, because everyone's got a good core of level ups. BBW.
Yo,
Wallace.
What level were you when we
Walter.
left the station?
level 2.
Level 2. How much experience did you
Nice.
get while we were gone?
There was some I didn't count, but I counted at least 34 experience.
That sounds about right, even with maybe
About
there's
where I
might have
am.
been a couple missed here and
Like
there,
one
but
or
that sounds
two.
about right actually. So do you know how to level up? Have you done any of this?
Nope.
Okay, so it's 7 plus your
34.
level is the experience you need to level up. So you're level 2,
4 minus
so you'll need
9.
9.
You'll get to level 5 because I already did the math on mine. 31 experience will get you to level 5, and then whatever's after that, you would just count up from 1.
Huge. So you're level 5 with 3
you.
experience. Thank you so much, Carl. That saves Sir Lily.
I've been marking it at, like, as I get a level, I'm like, this is level 3, and then I like count.
I love
this is
that.
level 4.
I love that. I love
Incredible.
that. Well, did
Thank
you have
you.
any? You know what? That's perfect. Level 5 with 3 experience. So you've leveled up 3 times. You get 3 basic skills, and you get 3 points to your stats.
Okay.
I'm
And my basic skills are
gonna pull up this file as well, so I can look alongside.
Are they my first levels or like?
Yes, these are going to be your basic
Ooh.
skills, because you level 6 is when you get your master set of skills. So,
Oh.
and we have some station time. So like, try to make some actions. This goes for everyone. Try to make actions if you think it's possible that you could level up, because we'll have some sessions on station. So that's session and questions. That's, you know, actions you take during the thing. Try to make some actions, because you know, level 6 is a good thing for good skills here. But for now, you're level 5. So what 3 skills? If you haven't looked at them yet, we can move on, then come back and talk about your skills if you'd like.
Okay, so like the skills are in the advanced moves ones. Right?
Yeah, I'm just opening your sheet now. So yeah, so right, you have your starting moves already. You're looking, yes, advanced moves level 2 to 5. You already have electromagnetic detection. That's what you picked up at level 2. So you'll get 3 more of these. Yep.
Ooh.
If you take multi-class upgrade, you'll just open up other people's character sheets and look through. And if you want to do that, again, feel free, take your time and look through it. At this point, no one needs any like story reason to be taking something from someone's class, because like we've spent time together. So it just makes sense that you could pick up a skill that they could learn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look.
Okay. Yeah. You peek through.
Okay.
It's fun. But you're level 5 with 3 experience. Carl, looks like you've done some of this math where you're level 5 with.
I know everything that I'm doing.
Okay, cool. Hit me
Level
up with
5
your.
with 3 experience. I'm taking camouflage at level 3. I'm taking, which means if I stay still in natural surroundings, enemies can't see me until I move, which kind of synergizes nicely with my extra hide.
Mm-hmm.
Blacksmith, so I can basically forge any rare tech onto my existing weapon, so I can make the collapsible pole and my stick the same stick. So that's immediately what Arl's going to do. And then at level 5, taking wild empathy, I can now speak with and understand animals because I am one.
Yeah, okay, all animals. And I think alien animals, of course, go for that as well. As long as they're alien animals, right?
I speak alien animal.
Taking 2 index and 1 in charisma.
2 index and 1 in charisma. I love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. I think now is a good time. Just in case, I'm gonna ask this for everyone as well. Do you think anything has changed about your alignment? Your alignment thing is defend those weaker than you. You can still be good. Do you think that there's any update to like how you would prove your goodness? I know this is a question also I just
think if
brought up.
anything that's been reinforced since like a friend just died.
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense too. Can Cookie's offspring think individually? That's I guess one we'll talk about at the end of this.
I have not filled in my middle one yet.
No, that's okay.
Racking my brain.
Now's a great time. We're doing like, go over stuff. So now's a great time to do just that. Slippy, where are you sitting?
So I think actually I'm level 5. I think I did the math wrong. I've got 46 experience total. Because there were a couple sessions there while we were in opulence that I just failed every single roll. So that happened.
Yeah, you actually that 46 is level 6 on the dot. 6 plus 7.
All right.
No,
well,
it's
great.
Level 6 and 2 experience. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm even a little bit on the way. So I basically just got all of the poisoning things.
Oh boy.
Slippy, I think, is going to not continue Cookie's work with Old Lady Winters, but I think is instead going to pivot to finding some different ingredients that are useful in a different way.
But like working with Old Lady Weathers to do that, is that like your thought?
Yeah, help. She has the plant knowledge, and I will have the poison knowledge.
Okay, so that's yeah.
So that coming out in my advanced moves, I've got Envenom, which means that I can apply a complex poison with a pinprick, and I've got +1 armor because I'm perceptive defense. Of course, we already know that I've got shoot first. And I've also got connections to the underworld, so I can, if I get a 10+, then someone has something just for me. Specifically what I want.
When you put out word to the
8,
criminal underbelly about something you want or need, roll plus charisma. On a 10+, someone has it for you. Wow,
just
on a 7 to 9.
I was gonna take
so I could just ask for things.
Cookie made it back. I was gonna multi-class into this move.
Oh, nice. Okay,
it's
yeah,
a good
yeah.
one. And then I also went with Alchemist. So with Alchemist, I can basically invent poisons.
Cool. That's the big thing you need to basically bolster all of that, because like the only poison you can use currently is the
oil to get, which makes people friendly to me. Nope, that's not the right one. That's
golden root.
Golden root is the one that I have.
Yeah.
But now I can have any of them.
Now you can have any of them, so it doesn't really matter.
I want a poison that deals 1d4 damage, please.
Yeah, I mean, you can work on her with that. I like that a lot. So our new character, Hyatt Cola. Well, let's talk to us a little bit about your character. You can maybe frame it in terms of these level ups, or say only what you want to say, but hit us.
Nah, I don't love the cloak and dagger vibe at the table. That's all character work. That's not table work.
Okay.
So Hyatt Cola is a special agent of the invasive species agency.
Ooh.
So all of his stuff is sort of geared around like solo investigation and neutralization of potential threats. So his starting moves, his class is the agent. He's got a thing called clearance, which gives a bonus to spout lore when he's got access to the classified database or whatever. He's got inquisitive eyes, which is very fun, but we've talked about it, and we'll see it in action here in a minute. We've got supplies for the mission, which is basically the body modifications. I get 3 enhancements that give me I can do 3 things with those.
It's like BBW's. So it's like, you know, your spells. It's like your spells, actually. It's exactly like your spells.
Yeah, it's basically exactly that. Yeah. I also have I've also got one here called Knowledge is Power. I've not used it yet, but apparently it gives
Knowledge.
it gives my allies bonuses when they do what I tell them to.
Yes. If he issues a command and that goes well, then on his roll, then you guys get bonuses if you do that thing. If you don't do that thing, then you roll as normal. But
yeah, if I roll badly or I roll mixed, you guys still get the bonus, but I have something has gone wrong on my end now.
Mm-hmm.
The moves I've looked at, I got
and Cookie was just reaching level
to,
6, so Hayat Cola is coming in at level 6 as well.
Yeah, Hayat Cola is level 6 and 4 experience because he failed 4 times last session. He's got his advanced moves. He's a human and he's lawful, which means I get experience when I use my organization to inspire fear, admiration, or respect. He's got an agent in training, which his name is Cluster Jorgen, and he's fun to have around.
I'm gonna let you down.
Yeah, he's my lawyer, Morty. He's fun.
Yeah, he's here for extra eyes in the sky.
Yeah, basically. I have a move called Experienced in the Fray. When I discern realities in combat, I get a bonus. I have Inquisitive Intuition, which is if I discern realities on someone that I've used my Inquisitive Eyes on, I get to do another thing. And then I took two moves that basically make me punch really good.
Really good, yeah. You don't do plus 1d4 and 1d6. You just do
no,
okay, cool.
Certainly not. It's the 4 becomes the 6 because I took both of those.
Yep.
And
he took one of
and I took one of Carl's moves as well.
When you hack and slash an enemy, your next attack against the same foe deals plus 1d4 damage. So he's all about just fucking hammering away at a dude.
Yeah, that would
you in particular
stack on the d6.
Yeah,
my second attack is a doozy.
Yeah, his second attack on the same foe is like a murder.
So you have Carl to shoot everyone once, and then you just attack the same guy over and over.
Just leave one.
Attack everybody except that guy, and that guy goes, "Well, wait, why?
Why me? Oh no!
I'll take the big one.
I'll take the big one." Sweet, yeah. So he is all about like gung ho being on a mission and getting that fucking mission done. Which I love. And a lot of his kit, like as you said, I had thought that I had built it differently, which overall there's many ways to do it, but he's built it into like he in the past has come from solo missions, and so like he's ready to go solo on a mission. BBW, what kind of moves do you think you're taking? And your stuff is a little bit extra because you are a spellcaster, so we'll talk about that as well.
A little bit.
So talk to us just about your moves so far.
So when I take my advanced moves, I took the aptitude one. It says choose one operation that can prepare and perform that operation as if it was one level lower. So it says level 1 operation becomes an automatic operation. So does that mean it becomes like a cantrip?
Yes, exactly. It becomes like your other ones that you can just use all the time.
So this move, do I apply it to only one spell?
Yes, you pick one spell that just becomes a cantrip for you, basically. Or one level 1 spell if you want it to be a cantrip. So this would also be cool if you happened to level up into level 6. If you did this to a level 7 operation, you could then use it once you hit level 6. Whereas like you wouldn't be able to use 7th level operations until you reach level 7. You could pick one and technically drop it down to 6 and then just try like hell to get to level 7 or to level 6. That is a total like just a different take on the thing you have pitched. I love a level 1 spell into a cantrip because that does add some power for you.
Not sure what I'll do for that yet. So exciting, but
yeah.
I also chose burnout. So if I run an operation on 10 plus, I have the option of choosing from the 7 or 9 lists. And if I do, I can double the effects or double the targets on the operation.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Like a simplified version, but on more. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
I have machines for armor, so my toaster is going to take a brown of damage for me if it works.
Okay,
You also have
it's negated, but I have to choose.
Don't you also have an energy
operation
shield
to be ruined?
to
I
the
do,
sentient,
but
so you're just gonna tank it
but
all
that's
on
if-
the toaster. The energy shield.
that's if the
nice.
Yeah, that's if the shield fails. My toaster's like coming much later.
Yeah, basically he can just mitigate all damage by ruining a machine. So if he just takes like a nuke, he can just say like, the toaster's broken, I'm okay.
No, the toaster. He sacrificed himself.
Well, I think it kind of makes sense to do a little narrative, maybe for what spell you choose. But also you'll get a few more spells. Let's see. Prepare new operations of your choice that you have mastered whose total levels you don't exceed. Let me see. How many do you get though? Whenever you gain a level, you gain mastery over a new operation of your level or lower. So you've just gained 3 levels and now you're level 5. You can gain 3 new spells from 5th level operations or lower.
I could choose how many?
You can choose 3 more. But also you can reset your first one. So technically what you would get a total of, because you got this one at level 2. Hold on. So your technical prep work, you get to reset your missions in between. Like when we're on the Delta station, you can reset all your spells. You get a total of starting at 3 plus level. So now your level is 5. You will get a total of 8 spells of 5th level and lower. I mean, while this is a huge bump, this is like, a big part of your character. You are technically the spellcaster of the group. So this makes sense. We just went from level 2 to 5. So it's a big chunk for you. So you get 8 of 5th level or lower.
Somebody remind me what attribute increases we get.
You get 1 per level, so you get 3, just 3. Flat.
You get 1 per level?
You get to pick 1 per
6.
level. Then you get 4 flat.
Nice.
You get 4 flat.
And what's the ratio for that? Is it different? Like,
it is different than D&D a little bit.
18's plus 3, 15 to 17 is plus 2. That's about all I got. Here we go.
15 to 17.
16 to 17 is plus 2, 13 to 15 is plus 1, 9 to 12 is 0.
Okay, I've got mine then.
Okay, cool. So yeah, BBW, please feel free to take your time. It feels like, that could be a conversation with Core as well. If you wanted to talk about new spells there with somebody. But you get to pick 8 of 5th level or lower. And 1 spell that is worth 1 level lower than it should be, which right now, because you're not level 6, I do like your idea of like a 1st level operation that becomes a cantrip, because that's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
But up to you totally. You think on that and look that over, and we'll
I think your name might start for Big Bad Wizard now.
Yeah, for real. Now you got spells.
Now he's cooking.
I cast Fireball.
Yeah, I mean, he's got one at 5th level that the name of it is wild, and it's Stargate.
Stargate, yeah.
It's just like his spells get fucking wild at the higher levels. His 9th level spells are like bring someone back to life, create like a false world for someone. It's just wild over there.
The ultimate party robot.
Make someone die over and over forever. Power word kill.
Power word kill, yeah. Sweet. Okay.